Well, that was Version, a Revisionist History, a film produced by the Kiva Partnership, which is Valerie Clarke and Kenneth Hannon, who are our guests today on Hometown Movies here on Channel 17. Well, that was a beautiful film. That was very, very nice.
Thank you.
What was it like? I mean, you had, your script was there. How did you go about deciding the visuals to go with it? Because obviously the narration is about a car trip, and yet only at the very end do you even see them, you know, actually in the car. How did you decide what to do?
Well, I think traveling always, you know, is a personal affinity for motels. Who knows? You know, motels mean on the road. I think there was a lot of traveling in there, also recurring on the television set, as we kept returning to there.
I mean, let's get film schooly about this and say that it's all a metaphor. A writer travels in his or her mind, and I hope the implication is at the end of that short video that this writer is going to be on the road again the next day, the very next night, another motel, and this story will be revised again. Just can't seem to get it right until the publisher's deadline, and then, and then you can get it right.
The revisions are done.
Well, Woody Allen once said, when somebody asked him how does he know he's done with the film, he says he finally gives up. You know, so.
And when he gives up too. He doesn't go to view the film afterwards. I've heard that's when it's done, it's done.
When we first approached Joe, as I said before, the video was shown. We had heard Joe read this at a poetry reading, and it was riveting. And when you're at a poetry reading, you're as a child, you're being read to, and the vision of the angst that a writer has, and there's some very funny, you know, parts in that. Joe's voice tends to be hypnotic in the way that he reads, that he's developed a reading style that's just wonderful. But when you take it apart, there's some pretty funny stuff in there, kind of making fun of himself as a writer, and can't get it right, and you know, you're still in Ohio. Get married. Get married, the sign said. I'd like to see a billboard that said that, wouldn't you?
Ohio ends soon.
And
you always hope.
When you're dealing with the interior of a mind, and you're dealing with your own script, which would, when we do our own scripts, the visuals are always there, they're always up front, but we were presented with a writer, a known writer's work, and we weren't willing, nor would we, have permission to change it. And you try to not take away from the writing. You know, the hypnotic voice carries it, the story itself carries it, it's kind of funny, it has a number of layers, and we didn't want to distract from that.
Do you look at yourself as if you were illustrators?
As still photographers, we illustrate very often. So in this case, we were definitely illustrating this. When we first approached Joe Matuszak with the idea and roughed out how we thought it was going to work, he said, I never saw it that way. So it's fun working with poets. It's a lot of fun working with poets.
We're almost out of time, and I'm hoping that you will come back for our next program, because I know you've done other work, and we have a lot more to talk about. So I hope you'll come back, and we'll do this again.
Great.
We've been talking with Kenneth Hannon and Valerie Clarke, who are jointly known as Kiva. And this has been Hometown Movies. My name is Michael Kelly. I'm your host. We do want to encourage any filmmakers who may be watching the program to contact us. We ask you to call our producer, John Kotarski. His phone number is 238-2824. That's also in the Flint phone book. It's Kotarski with a K. Give us a call. We'd like to show your work and share it with the community, talk to you about filmmaking. And our next program, we're going to have Kiva back again. And after that, we're going to do a program with Ben Hamper. So please stay with us here on Channel 17. And for John Kotarski and all the crew and people who produce Hometown Movies, thanks for being with us.